Geraldton, they have ample groundwater. So they've got plenty of water, that's not the problem. They have a fairly good network of getting the water out of the ground into people's houses. But they have a rapidly growing population. So they're going to need to have a greater network if the population continues to grow. And on top of that, it's really hot there. I was just there in January, it's really hot. And it's not humid, it's just hot. 40 degrees day after day, no rain between December and now, for example. So they use 300 litres per person per day, which is a lot, because in Sydney and Melbourne it's around 150 litres, so you can see it's a lot. So they've got a problem, and they actually want to delay the cost of increasing the supply network. They would like to only build more pipes later on. So what did they do? They said to them, and on top of that, so they've got water, they've got infrastructure, on top of that, all the high users are in new houses. So all the technological changes like dual flush toilets, low flush shower heads, it's all there already. So these guys are getting a little stuck. They've also had extensive awareness campaigns, they've had water restrictions, they've got a water policeman who's very proud of his job, goes around early in the morning, seeing who's got their water on, finding people $100 just for having water on. Anyhow, so they've got all these measures in place. You can see they've done everything on the right. So they said, perhaps we better do something else. And they commissioned a voluntary behaviour change program. And the aim is, they called it Home Smart, which is extremely clever when it's written, as you can see, because it looks like Water Smart, but when you say it, it sounds like Home Smart, and it doesn't sound like water at all. But anyway, their aims are to reduce household water use by 10% over the 6 months between January and July this year. And they specifically said, we're stuck. We want to use a voluntary behaviour change approach. Parallel, of course, to those other 2 points on the triangle. And in simple terms, this is what's happened. This is how the voluntary behaviour change program worked. People received a letter which did have information on their water use for 2011. So all the 5,000 households received that letter. Then there was a phone conversation rather similar to the one that I showed you with Gail and Katrina, talking to 1,400 people. And the first thing in that conversation was to think about the water around their house. So went through the water using rooms like kitchen, bathroom, toilet, garden. And then saying to them, not you're using 380 litres of water a day, this is terrible, but is there a change in your water use that you want to make but haven't got around to? Now, interestingly, probably 95% of households instantly have a change they would like to make. Often it's they don't know. They might say, I really wish my garden would stop dying. Or I really wish my daughter would stop showering so long. Or I really want to plumb in the rainwater tank, but I don't know how to do it. Now, as soon as somebody says that, you're on the path to change, absolutely, because they've almost asked you for help. And so facilitating a solution is relatively straightforward. You can say, have you thought of a way of changing that? And sometimes they can be sent tools to help them change. Now, tools could be a leaflet that explains how to change. And finally, there is this working out of the action plan. So already these 1,400 people have had a long conversation of how they're going to